2019 is shaped up to be a pretty great year for movies. We were treated to a lot of quality films over the last 12 months. From big blockbuster franchises to thought-provoking indie films, there were plenty of crowd pleasers. But which movie from 2019 did I like the best? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Now that 2019 is behind us, it's the perfect time to take a look back at the year and decide which films stood out the most and which will likely stick with us for years to come. Now, I watched a lot of movies last year, but because of my busy schedule, it's nearly impossible for me to see everything. So if there's a movie that seems to be strangely absent from this list, chances are I didn't see it. Also, I'd like to clarify that I'm not saying these are the best movies of the year. Instead, these are just the movies that I connected with the most. They're also my personal picks, and you're probably not going to agree with all of them, and you know what? That's okay. And before I begin this ranking, I'd love to hear your thoughts or see your top 10 list for 2019. So go ahead and drop your rankings in the comments down below and let's discuss. And please be respectful of others and be nice. So let's get right into my top 10 favorite movies of 2019. Starting off at number 10, Marriage Story. From director Noah Baumbach, this Netflix original movie stars Scarlett Johansson, Adam Driver, Laura Dern, and Ray Liotta. This performance-driven drama is really rough to watch, guys. It tugs on those heartstrings and puts the spotlight on the emotional toll that divorce can take. Driver and Johansson put on acting clinics in what are probably career best performances. The subject matter is a bit mature and a bit of a bummer, but there's no denying the power of this Netflix original, and it's one of the most emotionally draining and frustrating films I've seen. But it still somehow managed to leave me feeling hopeful and optimistic. To number 9, Dolemite Is My Name. From director Craig Brewer, this comedy stars Eddie Murphy, Keegan-Michael Key, Mike Epps, and Wesley Snipes. This tells the story of the real-life shock comedian and rap pioneer whose ambition to be successful overpowered the mainstream business model and made him a blaxploitation phenomenon. Eddie Murphy gives one of the greatest performances of his career that perfectly balances his comedic and dramatic talents. It's so great to see him back in a role like this, and he's surrounded by a pretty great supporting cast. Not only is this the funniest movie I've seen all year, but it has substance and leaves you feeling all warm and fuzzy inside. Now at number 8, Ford vs. Ferrari. From director James Mangold, this drama thriller stars Matt Damon, Christian Bale, John Bernthal, and Josh Lucas. A visionary car designer is hired by Ford Motor Company to create a car fast enough to beat the Italian car maker Ferrari, who's dominated the 24-hour Le Mans race for several years. He recruits a hard-nosed driver to help give his racing team the advantage to finally take down Ferrari. This movie's not only based on a true story, but it's just as inspirational as it is thrilling. Bale and Damon give career-best performances, Mangold gives us mind-blowing visuals, making this one of the most exciting theatrical experiences of the year. And it proves why he's one of the best directors working today. Moving on to number 7, Parasite. From director Bong Joon-ho, this drama thriller stars Kang Ho-sung, Sung Kyung Lee, and Tae Jong-jo. A poverty-stricken family cons their way into working for an extremely wealthy family, but just as their plan seems to be taking shape, something very unexpected spoils their whole plan. This Korean film is without a doubt one of the smartest, if not the smartest movie of the year. Full of surprises and twists that you don't see coming, I would even call it one of the most unpredictable movies of the decade. The tone brilliantly evolves as the plot plays out, and it's almost like you end up with a completely different genre of movie than what you started out with. Now to number 6, Joker. From director Todd Phillips, this crime drama stars Joaquin Phoenix, Zazie Beetz, and Robert De Niro. We follow Arthur Fleck, a broken man with a fractured past who's struggling to find his way through the tough streets of Gotham City. One bad decision ignites a chain of events that will forever change him and the city. Joker is not like any other comic book movie we've ever seen. It's disturbing, tragic, and twisted, yet cinematically stunning and full of color. Phoenix has never been better, but this movie is not for everyone. Some folks are going to love this, while others will be completely appalled by it. But even though it's tough to watch at times, there's no denying it's one of the best films of the year. At number 5, The Irishman. From director Martin Scorsese, this crime drama stars Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Al Pacino, Harvey Keitel, and Ray Romano. We follow mob hitman Frank Sheeran as he recounts his years working for an organized crime family and his possible involvement in the disappearance of Teamsters president Jimmy Hoffa. This film is Scorsese drama at its best. De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino give career best performances, and it's so great to see these guys working together in a movie like this. Sure, the film is a bit long and moves a little bit slow at times, but the well-fleshed out characters and ever-building tension make it one of Scorsese's most emotionally engaging films yet. And if you're a Scorsese nut like I am, you will not be disappointed, and it's without a doubt my favorite Netflix original of 2019. Coming in at number 4, 1917. From director Sam Mendes, this war drama stars George McKay, Dean Charles Chapman, Benedict Cumberbatch, Colin Firth, and Mark Strong. We follow two British soldiers during the First World War who were given a near impossible mission to cross enemy lines and deliver a message to save more than 1,000 soldiers from walking into a deadly trap. You guys, 1917 is really filmmaking at its finest. McKay gives an emotionally exhaustive and visceral performance that really makes you feel the toll that war can have. But the visual story is the real MVP of this film. The cinematography is next level and unlike anything ever attempted before. This is the greatest feat we've seen from the already well-respected director Sam Mendes. That brings us to number 3, Avengers Endgame. From directors Anthony and Joe Russo, this action adventure stars just about every single actor that starred in all 22 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies leading up to this grand finale. Following the devastating events of Avengers Infinity War, the universe is in ruin and what is left of the Avengers assembles for a final stand to try and reverse Thanos' devastating actions. Not only is Endgame the final chapter of a story that spans more than a decade, it also serves as the greatest hits of sorts and rewards longtime MCU fans with uncountable callbacks, references, and Easter eggs. The Russo brothers have proven to be masters of this universe, bringing us 4 of the best movies in the entire series. Endgame is their magnum opus. And at 3 hours and 1 minute, it's the longest running time of any movie in the MCU. But there's so much packed into this film that it's also the shortest 3-hour movie you'll ever watch. And my number 2 pick, Uncut Gems. From directors Benny and Josh Safdie, this crime drama stars Adam Sandler, Idina Menzel, Lakeith Stanfield, Julia Fox, and Kevin Garnett. A New York jeweler in major debt is caught up in a dangerous game of gambling and deception. He struggles to balance his family life and business life while trying to elude debt collectors and land the next big score. You guys, Uncut Gems absolutely blew my mind. I haven't felt so anxious and uneasy in a movie all year. Adam Sandler's performance is jaw-dropping. It's without a doubt his finest dramatic performance yet. And the Safdie brothers prove to be masters of building tension, and they hold you in that stressful state the entire movie. It's such an emotionally exhausting ride, and I loved it. And here we are, my favorite movie of 2019 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. From writer-director Quentin Tarantino, this throwback drama stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Timothy Olyphant, and Kurt Russell. Set in Hollywood during the late 1960s, we follow actor Rick Dalton and his trusty stuntman / personal assistant Cliff Booth as he tries to reestablish himself as one of the best leading men in Hollywood. This is Tarantino's 9th feature film and makes for another great addition in his already impressive film library. Now, this isn't my favorite Tarantino movie, but I would probably put it somewhere in my top 3. It isn't the movie that's going to define his career, but it's such a fun and engaging film that perfectly captures the period and lets us go a little deeper into the mind of Tarantino. The film is a visual feast full of unexpected but very satisfying ingredients. I'm a massive Tarantino junkie, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood fired on all cylinders for me. It exceeded the extremely high expectations I had, and that's why it's my favorite movie of 2019. Well, do you agree or disagree with my list? I'd love to know which 2019 movies you loved most, so go ahead and share your rankings in the comments down below and let's discuss. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And consider checking out my top 10 Netflix original movies of 2019 right up here. And if you want more 1-minute movie reviews, ranking videos, and all kinds of other movie-related content like this, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time something new drops on the channel. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram. I respond to just about every message and DM I get on those platforms. Just search for 1 Minute Critic. Thank you so much for supporting me through the years, guys. 2019 has been my channel's best year yet, and it's all thanks to you. Let's hope 2020 is just as entertaining as 2019, and until next time, I'll see you guys at the movies.